An interesting day coming at us here.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Uh,
Good morning, everybody.
so we've got some nice action coming into the day. We are going to be having a massive gap down. Nice call, Roth. M. Roth was calling 32.22. We'll see if we get down there. So overnight inventory is 1,000,000,000% short. There's Friday's trading. There's a massive gap here from the bottom of Friday to where we are going to open, probably somewhere under 32.50. We've been waiting a long time, and I've been telling everyone that when this market does fall, there is no trading history for it to come into support. We have a balance zone here, which all of this is basically the scene of the crime. Well, the scene of the crime from the end of the year. And this is the zone that we broke out, and we doubled it, and then we doubled it again. We got halfway up, failed, came back in, and last night basically traded the entire balance range of the breakout all the way down. Okay. I gotta kind of go into something here really quickly this morning. I had a person asking me some questions that, and I think they're under the impression that this room is about fundamental analysis and options levels and derivatives and things like that. It's not. My analysis is based on market structure. When I put out articles, it'd be nice if you guys read them. I put a lot of work into them and you guys are paying, so it'd be nice if you read them. Sometimes I will recommend a book. And honestly, if you don't feel like reading, or it's not your thing, you don't have to read it. Unfortunately, there are no there's no 1, 2, 3 to trading. There are other rooms that you can go and try that with, and I wish you the best of luck. The way I do this is I try and educate you guys to be traders, and I try and educate you based on the knowledge I had since 1993. It's and I don't mean to be sound snide, but it is kind of very, very, as Ray would say, tilting when you tell someone to read a book or recommend a book, and they say, "What, 300 pages is too long?" It just know that it comes off a little rude. So anyway, moving along, I'm just gonna put that out there. Um, Knowledge, you
It's
know,
work, baby. Come on.
if you
It's
want
friggin'
it,
work, baby.
if you want it, come get it. If you don't, such is life, right? How bad do you want it? Right? If you're prepared to do what it takes, that's the way it is. Nobody's going to drop knowledge on you just for the hell of it. Such is life. All right, let's see what we got here. We're back into this zone here under 46. We have a top from 46 down to 32.12. What I am looking for is I am looking for acceptance or rejection above 46. It looks like we are rejecting above and coming into this. So my first target on the downside, and be very, very careful, because we are going to have stray order flow this morning when the market opens, okay? And what does stray order flow mean? Stray order flow means that there are hedge fund managers, and hedge fund managers do not use stops. All right. They don't, because that's not how it works when you have huge positions. So some of their positions will be underwater, some will be in the green. They sometimes will sell those positions that are in the green to shore up their margin calls, which are due at the end of the day. How do I know this? Because everybody knows this, because it's common knowledge. It's a hedge fund fact, right? And you know, we've had guests on our podcast who've confirmed this. I used to trade for hedge funds. That's why I know. So I know what a margin call is. I know how clearing and settlement works. The instrument we're trading in, remember, this is the stock market. There's clearing and settlement. Today, what we're going to do, yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah, those afternoon margin calls, remember at the end of the day, you know, in trading places, they said margin call, gentlemen, you know, Randolph had a heart attack. That's what kind of day it's going to be. Is time driving this or price? Well, you know, what I'm looking at, this is purely price based now, right? We came in and challenged the excess of this day on the 31st. Oh, no, price, Tony, price, right? Everything's mark to market, right? Okay. Guys, could you take the Europe conversation to the off topic non-trading, please? I'm just trying to keep, because today's going to be a busy day in the markets. I don't mean to be rude or anything like that, but I'd really like to keep this channel free for questions about the ES and what's happening today, as it's kind of a thanks. Just go talk in the op topic or DM each other or whatever. Thanks. I appreciate it. Right. Because there are people here who have positions and things like this. No. This isn't a market maker thing, Tony. This is an other time frame thing. Remember how we always talk? Yeah, Rad, you got it. You must be happy. Um, the what we're talking about, the other time frame and how they're going to react, and it's obvious. We've got a million contracts coming in this morning, right? Uh, there's that excess. Look at it, almost to the tick. See how it's getting hung up here? Right? This is why we use structure to trade, right? To the tick of that excess, just a little bit under that one. Okay, now this is a very technical sort of setup. What this probably means is that massive order that pushed us down is complete, right? Now, is this going to bring extra selling or more selling? Most probably, because that's the kind of day it is. We're down 100 points in the S&P. And this is perfectly natural. Now what we're going to do is we are going to look and see how much the other time frame sells, right? We're looking at Microsoft coming into the morning, and it's printing, 169. You know, it closed somewhere at 179 the day before. Good old Apple is printing under $300. You know, it was somewhere up at 313 on Friday. So, you know, they're letting some steam out, right? We are gonna have some selling. It's to be expected. See, we're under this now. Now let's go check out this level. Whoops. Today is not the day to try and pick the bottom, right? Most of you, usually what happens when markets are like this, that we've had all the last 18 months, is they'll sell off hard like this, and then the next 2 or 3 days we'll back at new highs. This actually might be the change of tone that we are looking for, right? We saw some interesting things in the overnight last night. The overnight just couldn't get over 3,300. I took a tiny trade of a couple of micros just to test the order flow, right? Yeah, that 3212 is pretty responsive, and it's also, there's a gap down there, right? So there wasn't that big. Usually we get like too short in the overnight, and then the shorts do not get selling to fill them, and they start chasing the price up. That did not happen. Okay. When that stops happening, that some of the desks in Asia, Europe, people were getting up early and, maybe playing into that position, like selling, right? So when those tiny little things, today is not a day for technical trading, is what I'm saying. Okay. There's going to be stuff, they're going to be throwing all sorts of stuff out the window, right? So what we're trying to do today is we're trying not to get hit with a kitchen sink or a refrigerator that's being thrown out a 30-story window. So what we're going to do is, and what I recommend, there's some people in here who've been trading for 15, 20 years and they know what they're doing. So I'm not talking to them. But for the newer traders, what you want to do is you want to let this market open. There's going to be that insane, weird burst of order flow at the open. Okay. And what's going to happen is it's going to battle, and there could be violent 6-7 point swings on the open, right? The waves are going to be very, very rough. So the best thing to do, if Blair and I were sitting in Hawaii and it was December, there's a break called Bonsai Pipeline, which has a massive swell, at like 20, 30-foot waves, but it's all reef underneath. So when you wipe out, you're going to get hurt if you don't know what you're doing. We won't go out there. We'll sit on the beach and watch, exactly. Pipeline in December, Blair? Mm-mm. That's something where you sit and watch, right? And you'll be able to see what's going on, and we'll be seeing how these other that one I don't know, Zero Suit. I don't think we'll get to 7% today. I could be wrong. I mean, we don't have very much structure at all underneath us, but we do have some levels here that we can look at. We do have some bits, as they say, bits and bobs of trading history. I'll shrink this down. But as you can see, I mean, if we break some of these levels, there's nothing here, right? We have 3 days here. That's why if that 32.12, if this 32.12 breaks, folks, just go hide under the chair and wait until we hit this gap, right? Don't sell into it, Rad, with brand new traders. Bad, Rad, bad. Yeah, new people. Rad and I used to work together. He's an old eye gouger from way back. He's a market maker. He sells everything. He doesn't even think about it. People will walk up to him and go, "Is that your car?" And he'll go, "Sold," and it won't even be his car. So that's how he rolls. So let's. I use define risk. I gotta bug you, man. So we've got 32.29, which is half of this range that we're in now. So that's going to be our first target. We've got a tiny little bit of trading history here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These really don't count. There's no meat on the bone here in the profile. So this is what Dalton was talking about when the markets come apart. And, we're going to look for where we sort of, we're going to drop into this zone we already have. Let's see if we can hold 29 is our first sort of target. What is this, 22? And what did you have, Emroth? You had 22? Where'd you get 22 from? Let me see that. Oh, you sneaky bugger. Look at that.
What's up? I'm here, Zero.
He's here. He's here.
Yeah, where you been? I've been here every day.
Look at that. Yeah, that's nice, Roth. That might tickle the That might actually work. That's a nice call. Look at that, because there's excess here. It's almost the bottom of this day, right? So you have two references there. Okay, I could see that. So when people give me a number, what I'll do is I'll look and see what kind of structure we have around that number, right? Now, if we had nothing but these thin profiles here, I'd tell him he was a crack baby, and there's no way that we're going to stop there. But there is a chance that we could get held up here at 22 because of this structure. There's just a little bit, and that will tell us if it chews through 22, just for example, right? Just so, because we don't like surprises, right? We like to be prepared, even though we're watching, right? Um, we don't like surprises, and what we want to do is we want to just be prepared, just in case it just rains stock from the heavens. And having traded through 9/11 and traded through the long-term capital crisis and 2008 and 9, um, actually that 2009 I was doing a deal, so I didn't really care what the markets were doing. But you have to be very, very aware of what can happen when things go wrong. If something capitulates, if when markets get like this, it puts a strain on the system, and inevitably, there's always some joker who has over leveraged a fund, over leveraged something, and 9 times out of 10 is hiding that. And it always comes out when markets are under stress that the firms that clear the trades for these people, some of them will have what we call clearing firm sellouts. And because somebody would have put that clearing firm in jeopardy, so the clearing firm will have to sell out their position, and other things get affected as well. And that's what causes really, really stray order flow. That's why levels, like you'll have a level that you've traded 3-4 months ago, and it worked really nice, and this time the market will just go through there like there's nothing. And that's because the market, what it's doing is these guys are trying to find liquidity. Okay, and this is where all those book map people come in, right? If we had our prop trader RX in here, right? What he would be doing was he would have a big position, right? And say, some of these guys might be long from 2000, right? In the S&P, and they might have a bunch of contracts with a 2000 cost average or 2500 cost average. And what they're going to do is they're going to try and find a place to sell those, right? So they're going to be looking for liquidity. So days like this are days that we are looking for liquidity, where people can transact massive amounts of size, right? Because if you think about it, you've got these people with titanic size positions, and only other people with that kind of money can buy those positions. Retail can only buy so much. That's why these charts just drop like that, because there's no trading range. This is a trading range, not much of one, but it's half a month at least, right? This market has done nothing but one time frame up. That's not a trading range, right? That was nothing here. There was like a few days, and then like this market has just completely had no sellers. So now what it's done is we have built up demand. Okay. All of this move here, why do you take a market up? Why do markets go up? Because we are building demand. You build demand, right? And then you sell supply into the demand. That's why we do this. This is the game, right? You build the demand. So all of these people, right, are buying, 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 right? But you also have people who are chasing and who will have bids in all over the place, good till cancel orders. or other fund managers who will say at 300, I'm going to buy 1 million shares of Apple, right? And all of those people will start interacting in this area now, right? So when you sell the market down, you can sell size into a market that you've manipulated up or have taken up, right? There was no selling all this time. Now we're finally going to get some selling, right? Which is a good thing, because what it's doing is it is introducing enough supply to meet this demand, right? Right. So this is going to be a very interesting day, right? I may not even trade today, right? Because I view this as a business, and what today is a change of thinking, and it's a change in business conditions. So before I'm going to go take my hard-earned money and put it to work, I want to see what kind of environment I'm putting it to work in so I can adjust my strategy, right? That's trading, right? FOMO, MOMO, chasing, all this stuff, that's not trading, right? That's just gambling, right? So if you're a trader, what you're going to do is days like this are days that you observe, right? Now, if you're an institutional player or a proprietary trader, you've been prepared for this and you've been building up positions, right? So those are the people who are trading today, because those positions are being traded in and out of today. We are retail traders, and we need to know what those guys are doing before we jump in, right? You wouldn't put a blindfold on and walk into the middle of a freeway where there's nothing but semis going 100 miles an hour, would you? Doesn't really make sense, right? Oh, just use the, oh, yeah, he can't hear me. So basically, we're sitting, we're watching, we're going to wait and see how price reacts. What I'll do is I'll put I'll split the screen, because it's always good to know where we're going to end up. And then we can watch the individual price action here on this screen. Just want to make sure that I have the open and all that stuff. Where did I put it? Oh, here's the open. Yeah, when you have to move your whole thing around. The overnight eyes up here. I don't think we'll be bothering with that today. Got there, Tony. Oh, high volume node. Okay, nice. Thank you. This is the problem with these long days. You have to stand your monitors up on there. So there's 29, and there are some single prints here from, when is this? Let's go back. Gosh, they're from quite a ways away. They might have been untraded. Yeah, it's a dog's breakfast here. So we'll just yeah, I'm not jumping into this. Oh, you can tell. See, because Peter, first of all, overnight inventory is short. It is Overnight inventory is so short, it can't even see the top of the countertop. Okay, So what should be happening now is the other time frame should be buying and covering their short position, and that'll bring more buying. That's not happening, right? So they're easing off into this, right? They're looking for liquidity, right? They're looking for size, right? These guys are now looking for size to sell into because they have margin calls and all sorts of good stuff happening. Oops. Where's my good chart? There it is. Sorry, guys. It's crude. So we're going to come down to 32.29. Just get the, and we are going to expect very negative internals. What tape can you watch to monitor the ES since it doesn't have a tape? Yeah, the ES has a tape. You mean time and sales, Peter? No, no, there's a tape. Here. I don't watch the tape. I just look at it for speed. That's all. I don't read the. Oh, you're not hearing? That's weird. What the heck happened? Oh. Yeah, the tape is more important with equities because then you can see when guys like RAD are price improving. And equities still work. I was watching Microsoft the other day when that block printed. Yeah, I just watched the ES tape just to see how fast it's trading. Yeah, I don't even my DOMs. I'm on sim. I'm just gonna sit and see how the cookie crumbles here. We're coming into the half period, right? 32.29 is half of this green zone. It'll be very nice. Nice, beautiful liquidation today. The Dow will probably drop 1,000 points. Markets will be in turmoil, but this is what the market needed, and this is what we saw happening because of the structure of this market was just horrible going up. Right? They've pretty much marked up all they need to do. Now we're going to see, markets go from trending to balance, and there we go. So there's that 32.29. Stopped one tick. See, we've got negative 11 to 1 breath, negative 5 to 1 on NASDAQ. Right, a little bit of short covering here. Let's see if they sell into the cover. That's what we're looking for. Every time they short cover, how much will they sell into the cover? Right. So the Dow's down 980 points. This is overnight inventory correcting, folks. How much will it correct? 46 is one of our levels. And we can see it coming here. Okay, now watch out because once the bidding starts, if that other time frame comes in, this could be violent. There could be violent selling here. Let's see where they find the liquidity. Okay, the breadth is negative 15, negative 13. It's bouncing around. '29's holding nicely. Okay. And let's see what we got here. Negative 14 to 1. Dow can't make it down 1,000 points yet. This is good short covering. So what's going on here, folks? Here's that 46. Little responsive selling. This is acting way too calm for a market that's down 1,000 points. Very interesting. Okay, there's 46. Why is it trading so technically? Rad. What's going on here? This is fishy. Where's the violent order flow? I don't like it when it's too nice. Yeah, there's gaps all over the place, but acceptance. Rejection out of this area. Let's see. Let's see. Watch this. Jeez. Remember, inventory is very short in the overnight. If they don't catch the other time frame, let's see what the old Apple's doing here. 297. Oh, they dumped it all the way to 289 on the open. Ouch. Oh, that's mean. Davis, you use Robinhood? Really, eh? I'll have to talk about your experience one of these days. I need to pick your brain. $2 of slippage on a stock? You watched 45 and 3/4. Yes, sir. So what's going on? Market's supposed to open down. This is short covering, folks. Right? And what this short covering is doing is it's trying to get out of this zone here. So will we get acceptance or rejection? Yeah, you will also find, folks, when markets are like this, and this is not violent at all. This price action is, dare I say, don't jump in, but this price action really isn't that bad for what I was expecting, which means they've automated this process so much. Thank you, BlackRock. Um, we should be experiencing some pretty violent action here, but we're not. So just be careful. The breadth is kind of creeping up, but it's still pretty negative, right? Inventory is still correcting. We're just watching to see whether we stay in this zone, up or back down. The selling response, wow. The selling response there was just non-existent. Thanks, Turby. Ah, nice call, Zero. Now, where the hell are the sellers? So this characteristic has exactly happened for the last 18 months. I was watching Warren Buffett on CNBC this morning, the Oracle of Omaha, and they asked him about this pandemic. And he goes, I'm buying stock for 50 years. Long after I'm dead, long after this pandemic is gone, Apple will still be there. I'm like, okay, fine. That's his attitude anyway. So remember the other time frames. If this continues, right, we're going to look at 65 for our next target and see how we act when we get up there. But if this continues, the other time frame might actually be buying a little bit. But let's see. It's still too early. We're only 7 minutes in, right? So we came into this zone. Do you see how when you have a trading range, right, you actually get some support? No trading range, no support. Now the market's open. And this is weird, man. This is really weird. Where's the other time frame? So they're never going to sell any stock ever. Wow. Alrighty then. Okay, so this could be a short covering rally, which they're going to sell into. Remember in the old days, boys? They used to sell into these things. Yeah, I don't know about the PPT. That's above my pay grade. And what he's talking about is the plunge protection team, which I don't have enough. I can't speak on that stuff. Well, Ray, it looks like Aladdin is holding the fort here. Nice. So we're already up off the lows. Man, Rad, I've never seen sell-offs like this. The order flow. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Let's see. I'm waiting for the order flow to get a little violent. Please pass the gray poupon. Why is it you and I are the only ones who get that reference? 3253. We're crawling up to that little box of old single prints that has been useful in the past between 54 and a half and 60. So we completely rejected out of that 12 to 46 range so far. Let's see if we can hold it. What's screen zero? Oh, on Window Trader? Hang on, sure. So here are the nodes. I'll copy and paste this into the. There you go. Hmm. So people talk about market generated information. What we're seeing now. This is a huge piece of market generation, right? Like you'll notice, Rad and I are kind of like those dogs when they look confused, right? And it's this exactly. This is not natural. This is not how markets normally work. But we trade what we're given. And oh man, no kidding. This market is on a leash, eh? Wow. It's on a tight leash. So we're staying above 32.46. This is very interesting. Look at the selling as it comes down to 32.46. It is orderly. It is calm. Look at the response before we even get there. Okay, let's see now. We should chew through 46. It's not a technical day. See, there's a bid. You can tell there's a bid under 46. Right? You don't need any fancy software to know. When you price reacts like that, when it comes to a level we're watching, right? I don't need software to know that. Watch. Let's see if it's still there. Because they could be shorting off of that bid. Right? Sometimes you hold a market up so you can sell, and then you pull your bid, the market drops. We haven't seen much of that lately in this market because everyone just buys stock and never sells it. So we're still watching 46. I would like to see it come down through there and see how it behaves. Bouncer's not letting it get there. The breath is no longer double digits. It's just under 10. So we have Apple down $12 almost. Amazon's down 72 and change. Boeing's down 10. Baba's down 7 or 6. Good old BlackRock is down 18. And Tesla shorts are actually getting to cover at 850. How nice. So, okay, what's next here? Well, let's focus in on the structure. So this level here is 65. We'll look to come out of there once we come out of these singles. Even though they've been traded through, notice how responsive they were, how we stopped right there. It's really quite amazing because we only had one day of trading through them. They're still responsive. So now what we'll do is we'll look to see from 55 to 59, and these are from the end of the year. That's that Friday the 31st. Those single prints, because these are distributions. Yep. Go ahead, Zero Suit.
You said they started at 55, Jay?
I
The,
think
the singles?
I was spitballing them here. Hang on. I'll give you where is it? That's the range right there. I'm sorry. I thought it was 55, but it's not. It's 49 half to 51 3/4.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Sorry. You know me, my eyes are starting to go. Yeah, definitely Zero Suit. If this was a normal day, like the way we normally trade, yeah, when it didn't break 46, that's a long, right? Rad and I are kind of sitting there going, where's the selling? You said there would be selling. Like they gapped the market down 1,000 points and people stepped in and bought. What does that tell you? I mean, in our day, if you open up a market down 1,000 points, there used to be fear. There used to be like people would like people were jumping out of windows. Now they just get on the bid. Who knew?
Wee. Oh, yeah, I did. Thanks for that 46 pointing that out. I did go long when it didn't break
Oh,
46.
good, good. There's a bid.
Yeah.
There's a bid. Thou shall not sell. Wow. This price action for older guys, this price action, we're looking at this going, are you serious? Are you really? Are they really doing what? Okay, fine, good, all right. So they're not backfilling a lot of shorts here. If you take a look, let's take a look at how Apple and Microsoft are reacting off of this. Uh, doesn't take a genius to figure out they're stepping in and buying with both hands. Apple under $300 must be a huge buy for some of these fund managers. You know, sure. You get two for the price of one ES, and we'll throw in a side of fries. No kidding. This is not one of those days. Look at this 10-1 negative breath, and the market's going up. Okay. This is where, as much as I love the internals, we're going to have to completely go off of structure here. And I mean, these internals, the one thing on the internals that isn't lying to us is the tick, right? It moves the fastest and responds the fastest of all the internals. It's the speedboat. The advanced decline line is kind of like a luxury yacht, and the breath is like an ocean liner. It takes forever to turn. So once again, profile kept us from shorting at the bottom. Yes, yeah, no, there's definitely way below value, right? So they are buying. Very good, right? So what happened with these lower prices at 32.29? They bought it. They bought the dip. Yeah, to the tick 32.29. I mean, okay, I was off by 2 ticks, okay? But she held pretty good. And then 46 held like a champ. And so far it's holding like a champ. And this price action is not as violent as I expected at all. It is maybe 1%. So let's see what happens now. We're still only 20 minutes into the day. Yeah, the cumulative delta, Jason, is a little bit that'll steer you wrong if you were shorting this market, right? Since 940. Right. No, 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 no. Yeah, Peter's usually on point, Debo. I didn't get a chance to read his analysis today. But he's been through this many times, and we can often see that what we're looking for, and the way I explain it, is a little different. We're looking for the other time frame to sell stock to fill in the people who have shorted this all the way down. Now, how much they sell and the manner in which they sell is what I'm watching for. And right now, I'm not seeing a whole heck of a lot of selling. Oh, nice trade, Debo. Yeah, you've been at this for a while now, so it's good. Honestly, had I not been in the room and talking, if I had seen this price action, I definitely probably would have gotten long off that 46 for sure. Right. I would have let this sort of show me the way and then I would have taken along. It was actually just too obvious. So we are getting very, very close to the top of these singles here. And then of course our 65. So we were down 100 points in the S&P. Overnight inventory is very short, right? And people are probably looking at this going, you know what? Eh. They'll look at the supply chain stuff and that sort of thing, but people who are buying for longer time frames, and if you're buying, and what I mean is if you're buying stock and you're going to hold it for 50 years like Buffett for his fund or these other sorts of people, uh, this is an opportunity to go in and buy some stock that's frankly on sale, and that's what they're doing now. Now let's see if that continues. And once again, we're coming back down. The ranges should be large today, right? It's like a Black Friday sale. Went shopping. Did you buy some nice things, Kim? That's good. You know, smarter traders who know, or not smarter, but people who've been doing this a while will, they'll step in and they'll know their price points. Nice. Sweet trade. There's responsive buying all the way through here. What do you guys have VWAP at this morning? Just out of curiosity. 64.83. Thanks. Thanks, DLA. Okay, there's some responsive selling. All right, here we go. Jeez. We start looking at this period, we're going to start seeing where they're actually picking up position. Point of control volume wise just moved up to 53 and a half, 3/4. So we're spending, do you notice, in this A period, most of the time has been spent over 46, right? And volume's kind of confirming that. So now the market's just laying out a structure. There's some back and forth order flow. We have 4 minutes to the next period. We have, if you look at the Thinkorswim tick, It's a bit more clear than the one I'm using, but this one's more responsive. The tick has done nothing but climb since the beginning of the day, right? Even though tick distribution is negative, that has been, if this market, yeah, almost 400K. If this market had been, jamming down and there was massive panic selling, this tick would never be able to get to zero. We actually went over zero in the last 5 minute one. So very, very interesting. It's going to tell us a lot. When markets sell off, it tells us a lot about what's really going on. It generates a lot of information. Um, and and we can use that to make intelligent trading decisions further on in the week. So for day, people will come in and go, oh, JJ's not saying, oh, buy this, sell that, buy this. No, I'm not doing that on a day like this because I still don't know what's coming, what's hiding in the bushes, right? It would be irresponsible of me for you guys to, start taking trades and say, take a trade here, take a trade there. And that's why I'm not doing it on a day like this because I don't know what kind of stray order flow is going to come, right? So far, it's respecting levels fairly well, which is surprising. It completely rejected out of that balance zone. So that's one piece of information. Number two, the short covering, if this is just nothing but short covering, it's lasting quite a while, right? And number three, the other time frame does not want to sell anything um, under this 46 level so far in the first half hour of the market. This is what happens a lot, and this is why inventory is one of the most important things. Remember how this morning I said, when the market's coming down, those people that were short on Friday, they'd step in and buy, and that'll attract more buyers. That's actually happened since the market opened. You know, this is very healthy for the market when it sells off like this, but this is quite surprising, right? This order flow is telling me, even though all the news is negative and people are jumping up and down and saying that the end of the world is coming, the people who have the big money and the large positions are not panicking, right? That's something very, very important to note. We always want to look and see what the very large players are doing. And even though we can't go and sit inside their offices and watch what they're executing and look at their positions, they're showing us here, right? If this market was in panic, it would have been down 1,500 points and it would have started triggering circuit breakers and all sorts of things. That is not happening. Now, I'm not saying jump in there and buy with both hands, but this is a very, very important piece of information in the first half hour of the day that nobody else really, unless they're profile traders or unless they know what they're talking about order flow wise, they won't understand this. They'll be like, why is the market going down? How many people do you know will have shorted the opening just blindly because it has to go down, right? Let's see what, yeah, 53 and a quarter. That sounds good. Double top. So we have a poor high. They'll back away from that now. It's a little jumpy here. Ooh. One tick excess, two tick, that's proper excess. And we'll probably go to the top of these prints here. Are we there to the tick? No, a little bit over. Yeah, one tick over. Where is it? 59 half. And back in. So now what we're going to look for is, can price get to the bottom of these single prints? If it rejects off there, that bid that was down here at 46 is moved up, right? So let's see how she goes. Hmm. Dow's down only 700 now. Apple's printing 303. So Apple being over $300 is telling me that the market's not panicking, right? Microsoft being only down $4.50 on a $175 stock is not a big deal. Zero suit structure will always make you look intelligent. I'm serious. If I can come up with these levels and figure this stuff out, anybody can. So it's just a matter of spending time in front of the screen. That's all the trick to this stuff is, right? And then being able to execute around it. That's the tricky part. So we're just sort of in and out of those single prints. Roll over Beethoven. All right, I'm up for a rollover, Rad. You think we do a gator roll? I would love a good gator roll. I haven't done a gator roll in such a long time. A gator roll is when you get people so nice and calm, and then you just grab the stock and you take everybody underwater like an alligator. But I haven't seen one in a long time. Here it comes. Oh, come on. Good excess on B period, right? Decent. NQ. All right. I'm game. Jeez. What's a rollover? A rollover is when the short covering comes in, right? And people buy it in, and people who are long and have a big position, what they'll do is they'll go in and help. What they'll do is help push the market up and make the shorts and the momentum traders and people like us come in, and we feel safe buying, right? Because the market's going up, even though everyone was, oh, it's not a big deal. Oh, the market's not going to do it. So we all get comfy into buying, and then the size traders grab all those buyers and then just pound their bids, right? And it's we call it, I call it a gator roll, and I used to love doing that. It's basically when you take a stock or whatever instrument and you just flush it really bad, and then you basically hold the price lower, and that's how you eat your prey. So let's see if they can actually do that. Point of control is up at 50 and 3/4, just where Rad says it should be. Volume's a little higher. Rad, we're going to need this breath to go down if we're going to do a gator roll, my friend. Come on. Don't tell me we're going to one time frame up. That would really mess up the shorts. Wouldn't it? Oh, no cater roll, please. Okay, sorry, Kim, you're long. Nice. Well, we're really not seeing panic selling here. Um, so the other scenario, the gator roll, we may not see that for another 10 years, Rad. But they're gonna have to get pushed down on this a lot harder to scare people because people are not scared right now. Yeah, I think our old market making techniques are like folklore, like the Loch Ness monster. There were all these pirates, and then BlackRock invented Aladdin and got rid of them all. So, what should we expect? Okay, we're basically trading between these sets of single prints, filling out value. I bet you today starts looking like a P shape. I still want to see this 3246 come down and get challenged. We just did come off record highs. Some selling is to be expected. This is oddly orderly. Yeah, DLA. That's short. Okay, that is. See, that particular trade is a perfect example as there's something kooky going on today. That double short on a day the market's down 800 points should work like a charm, right? You would think. That, I mean, just common sense would say that there would be a seller, right? On a double top? You and your gypsy magic. Ooh, la seller, right? Where are the sellers? We had almost 15-1 negative breath on the open. Now we have negative 7.5-1. So okay, we're not going to have a trend day up, but the responsive buying coming out of 3246 was just actually quite astonishing. We can have a green close. Yeah. Ugh. Long 5150, just like Van Halen, Rad. All right.
Nice. Nice.
Well, gosh dang it. If it's going to be like this, might as well trade. Hell. Nice. Nice trading. It's
Yeah,
holding.
nice.
It's holding its mud today, right? Jeez, look at this thing. As Dr. Spock would say, fascinating.
Yeah, yeah, interesting for sure. Yeah, I went long after 52.
See, what I'm worried about is people get used to this, and when that gator roll comes, it's going to be ugly. But we trade what we have, so let's see. Back into those single prints. Yeah, we're definitely digesting off the lows, though. Boy, the breath has steadily been creeping up since the beginning of the day. Our advanced decline line was low at 2,315 negative issues. It's now negative 2270. Yeah, it's just very very interesting to see this sort of order flow. Nasdaq breath is off its lows. Apple 30265, Microsoft 170, just under 174. It just went once 174.09 bid. The reason why I'm calling out the prices of Microsoft and Apple is because they are the two anchors of the S&P. So I will look to see how they trade. They are massive, massive S&P components. Coming up to the top of those single prints again. We rejected last time, and there's the rejection again. You want to keep watching that response. Does that response get more aggressive, or does it get less aggressive as we keep trying to get up to that level? As soon as we start getting into the excess above 58, you notice that there's responsive selling, right? You can tell right away just by looking at the profile, right? Right at that A high, they ran out of bullets. There's some little bit of volume coming in here above that 58. So let's see if we can stay above it. So that B was excess. And now we are accepting price in the area above 58, which is quite notable. Back and forth, which is to be expected. We should have a lot more back and forth today, given the nature of what's going on. Aggressive buying. Would I go long over 58 just yet? Rad's long 57 and 3/4. Rad did it for me. Are you using a 5-point stop? Okay. Yeah, you know, I'll be patient. I really have no desire to trade this morning. until I figure out what's going on. If you guys are clipping in and out, that's great. Just always just please use stops because never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, yeah, I did. I did zero. I did relative. I've been like real quick today. Yeah. And I got long off at 52 again. And I took that to like 56 and a half, I think.
Okay, so back into the single prints under 58. All right, Apple and Microsoft are easing off just a little bit, so this could explain some of the selling. Tesla's still trading 858, holding in there like a champ above 800 bucks. It's just back and forth here.
Jay, would you say Tesla was trading at?
858 bucks a share.
858.
Yeah, it's funny. I was at a God, somebody in my mother's church bought Tesla at 300 bucks. And I said, did you sell any? I'm not going to sell that stock. It's going to 10,000. Alrighty then. Okay. All right. It just
Did you see that article about I guess like retail trading being at like a all-time high
yes,
at the
they're
moment?
bring yes, we're herding the sheep back into the yard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I said that this is coming, right? Because the institutions own all the stock and they need to sell it to somebody. So they need to bring retail traders back into the market, right? They need liquidity. This is not a liquid market. Had this been a liquid market, the Dow wouldn't have dropped 700 points today. It would have dropped a couple of hundred points and hit a trading range. So yeah, we were talking about this earlier, remember, Ray?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, exactly.
microfutures, fractional shares, they gotta bring the retail
Mm-hmm.
back.
Yeah, you've been saying that. Yep.
Just read The Great Gatsby, 1920s, reminiscence of a stock operator. It's the same thing, except now they've got cell phones instead of bucket shops in hotel lobbies, right? What was Davis using? Robinhood,
Yeah.
right? There we go. Finally, some selling. Good Lord. Exactly. Lower all the barriers. Just come, come. Of course you can have a Lamborghini. But of course, a Rolex Daytona watch? Yes, of course. Take 3, buy 4. You'll make that in a day, right? You mean you can't? Chris, if I ever need to do a Furu commercial, Chris, I'm using your garage. Hi, look at me. This is my Cobra. I can imagine what you've got in your garage. You Salt Lake City boys do not mess around when it comes to toys. coming down to that 46. Let's see what they've got in the tickle trunk. Yeah, shorting on a day where the Dow's down 800 points should work, right? Hello. I don't know. Just this is like the twilight zone of trading. That's okay though. We'll trade it. Don't worry. We'll be like Captain Kirk. We'll go do all the crazy things that nobody ever
Mhm.
wants to do. We'll trade it.
I mean, it makes sense, right, Jay? Like, I mean, with overnight inventory being that short,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, it's not like crazy, right? I mean,
Yeah. Well, I mean, and if there was panic selling, they would have filled in that short, but they didn't. So they had to go looking for it. Right. So you're exactly right. Yeah, Mac, the lack of ebb and flow. There is no ebb and flow. There's only ebb. Ebb showed up, flow stayed home. Oh man. Sorry, this is just it's just comical. Okay, here comes 46. Yeah, exactly. You can drive Chris's Cobra, but it only has one pedal. Brake or gas, you choose. Getting hung up here at 50, under 50. So 46 is my first target to the downside, and then the developing halfback, which I have marked off just under 45. It should drip down there. The selling is very orderly on the way down. This can't be just inventory correcting. On a day like this? Well, let's see. We'll know soon enough here. We'll see how hard it breaks 46. If it hits it with authority, 47 quarter. There we go. 47. Come on. It's not a lot of size coming out here. A couple of thousand contracts. Sell it down. 2 ticks away from target. Here we go, DLA. You finally got a short. Now watch that 46 area, okay? If it gets violent and jumps, be careful. I had a buddy on Twitter. His name's Momo Bagholder. He's always playing with snakes. This thing's acting like one of his snakes. Yeah, eyeing that open. Yeah. So we're having trouble getting down and actually printing 3246. We stopped 2 ticks before it. Like on a day like this, we should have no trouble coming down and hitting that level. Like it shouldn't even be. We shouldn't even have to think about it. Be like level, pff, you know. But if we don't take out 3246, it's telling me that all of that selling from 57 down to 47 here was just inventory correcting. Which means the other time frame is definitely not selling. Come on, here we go. It's going.
So today was the heaviest first 30-minute volume of the year.
Good. Volume, volume, volume. Love it. 47. I'm going to lean on this thing a little bit. It's true, Chris. Volume always leads price. Well, if you, the thing is, this was an insanely large gap. The gap rules are go with all gaps that don't, fade right away. These gap rules, you have to be fluid on some of them. Today, inventory corrected a lot off of the open, and we found completely no selling in this area that we're kind of poking into right now. So let's see how we get under 46. If we get under 46, can we get to half back? Is that bid that was there? Is it still there? A little bit of responsive buying. It's not as violent as it was the first time. Yeah, it's fuzzy, man, because the gap rules, all the way up, the gap rules were saying, go with the gap, but the gap we gap and then fade and then go. So and this one is kind of being the same way on the way down. We gap down and then fade back up and then sell off, right? But I'm not seeing violent selling. Okay, this is very odd. When a market hits half back to the tick, when the market is down 94 S&P points, this is very, very mechanical trading. Okay, I expect that to get traded through. But the fact that we're even stopping here is puzzling for a market that should be selling off massively. So little things like that tell you so much. So B period is a complete inside period to A. Or is it? Wait a minute. Sorry.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. No, A
It's
was
not.
not. Yeah. We're still doing the one time framing thing. So I thought A was the high. Weekend brain. Apologies. One tick below halfback. See how we're getting hung up here? Right? In a market when the other time frame is selling, that shouldn't happen. I mean, we do expect to have some selling. Okay, here we go. C period opens up. This area is going to be a little heated here. Can we even get up to 46? Let's see. Couldn't get to 46. Very interesting. Give it another couple of minutes. So I'm testing this out. I'm short one at 32.45, 46 and a quarter is my stop. And I'm going to see how this order flow. I just want to feel the order flow. It's one micro contract. Should be my first stop is here. Let's see what it does. There we go. A little bit of selling finally.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, one time framing down. Okay, I'm still short. Let's see how we handle this area here in the 42 quarter. Yeah. I'm going to slide my stop to one tick underneath the. So my stop now is 44 and 3/4. So if I get flushed out of this thing, at least it'll cover commission.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And now you sit back and see if the trade's going to work. Ticks are doing what they're supposed to. Finally. Okay, had some short covering the first period, 2 periods, and they sold into it a little bit. We have the open down here. But I have to get acceptance under 42 would be nice. And I'll actually slide my buy stop now is 44/4. And I'll slide it now to 43/4. So I'm short 45. Buy stop is at 43/4. Slid it
Nice.
to 43.
Yeah, nice trade. I punched out of it too early. Yeah, it's all right though. I've been like you know what I've been doing, Jay? Like I just been taking profit, man. You know, like I get
Yeah,
tilt
yeah,
I get tilt
yeah.
I tilt too easy if I like
Yeah. Take hit and run.
yeah. I tilt too
You
easy
know,
if I win and then lose. It's bad.
when when we start trading, right? And you've been doing admirably well at this for only 6 months. You got to look at trading like robbing a bank
Yeah.
on days
Yeah.
like this. You
Yeah.
run in, you grab the money, and then we book it. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
no, exactly.
it's hit and run trading, right? And
Hmm.
that's how you build an account, right? Let other people on Twitter go, oh, I'm, you know, uh, oh crap, I bought two. Oh, now I'm flat. Okay, good. Grab those points. Yeah, exactly. See, the thing is, uh, yeah, Debo, you like my analogies, eh? No, man, we gotta, I like if a guy who's ever doing a deal comes up to you and says that, like somebody did to me once, like JJ, we got to look at this deal like robbing a bank. I'm like, no, I don't want to do the deal. But in trading, when these guys are moving around ridiculously large sums of money, right? Yeah, and you leave a little something for the next guy, right? Everybody eats, right? Right? There's nothing wrong. The guy who says he got 30 points, 50 points, let him, and if he says that you're not trading the right way, say, well, okay, well, why don't you give me some money and I'll trade your account and you show me how it's done. We'll see how quickly they stop talking. Right? So we still have some pretty good excess in that A buying tail. Let's see what happens here. And you can see it's sort of trading around these little areas of excess. And that's where I'm getting these red lines from. They're not like anything magic. They're just the excess from these days. And they seem to be getting quite responsive. You can see 42, 42.25. There's a little bit of action going on here, back and forth, back and forth. So after taking a trade this morning, this order flow's really, when I started and the market would come off hard, it would jump 6 or 7 points and be bouncing all over the place. I guess they've got the algorithms choked down so much that they really got it really nice. Oh, Trisby, no. I shorted one micro E mini contract at where was I? 40 something, 45. And then I covered it 42. It was like a 2 point trade. Micro E mini contract. Not, it wasn't I don't trade options, just so you know. It's something that I'm going to, oh, you're using interactive? Okay. They don't have the micro E mini contract at interactive? I thought they'd be all over that. I'm pretty sure they do. Ray, I've been hogging the mic. I'm going to leave it to you. I'll be right back, okay?
All right. All right. What's up, everybody? Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are at. Hopefully you guys been doing well trading. I'm doing all right so far this morning, doing pretty good. Might shut it down here shortly. Lock in profit. Definitely want to get better at that. I've been, giving some back. Been doing well in the morning, then giving some back. So I want to, stop doing that. Definitely leads to tilt for me. Yo, Red, don't get me started, man. You're a bad influence on me, man. Anyway, let's run down the list. Let's see who we got here today. AKA the Ninja. What's up, brother? Shout out to A Meat. What's up to Money Mo? Andres, the sharp dresser. What's going on? Shout out to Archie Berry. What up, Bara? Benny the Butcher. Blair. What's up, Blair? Hopefully you didn't get into any fights this weekend. Shout out to Bullish Equity. What's up? Shout out to Don Rickles. What up, Kane? Caney4. Shout out to Chris Hanks. What's up, brother? How's it going? Shout out to Captain Morgan. What's up, Morgan? Darth Trader Davenport. What up, Debo? Appreciate you. What's up, man? What's up, Morgan? Shout out to Delta Diplomat DLA. What's up, DLA? Yeah, you short? My man. Beautiful. Shout out to DMH. What's going on? Enlighten me. What up? ES for life. What's up, E-Top? Shout out to you. Shout out to FOMO Mitch, FX Hooligans. Gem, what up, Gold Crease? Good Life Trader. Greg, what up, Vuk? Hamid, how's it going? Shout out to Ice Cool Head, Parallax. Jason Chitla. What's up, Jason? Shout out to Jay Mully. Kathy M. What's up, Kathy? Ken Patchy, King Wills, Little Wizard. Shout out to LC. Hey, Kathy, how was your weekend? Shout out to Mac. What up, Mark? Mark PMC, Matt G. Shout out to MRHM. What up, M Roth? Good to see you back around. Yo, what's up, King Wills? Yeah, taking candy from babies today. My man. Good to hear that, Mark. Hey, what's up, Matt? What's up? Shout out to Olden Wise. Shout out to Omar in Astoria. What's up, Omar? Open Space Cap. What's up, brother? Shout out to Patrick Z. What's up, Patrick? Shout out to Infinity Futures. Yo, yo. Shout out to Paul Pin, Peter T, the Forest Dweller, the Tree Meister, King of the Trees. He counts on them. Shout out to Peter M. What up, Phil? PTK, Pyro Davis. Shout out to the resident scumbag, Rad 7. That ain't my chair. Not my chair, not my problem. My man got the reference. Yeah, I love that video, Chris. Yeah, that's shit, that shit's too funny. What's up, Rad? Shout out to Ryzen, Rob B, RPM. What's up, Scott? Shout out to Sean. Simon H. Welcome to the room, Simon. Don't be shy. Say what's up. Shout out to Spaniard. What's going on, man? How's it going? Shout out to Sperry. Shout out to the resident wild boy Steve O. Schmidt 534 exclamation. Shout out to T Bond. Shout out to Tony. What up, Tone? Mr. Balloon Hands. Yeah. Shout out to Wiz Khalifa. What's up, Wiz? How's it going? Oh, easy money. Shout out to Tersby. What's up, Tersby? How's it going? Nice to have you on the live session. Shout out to Wally. What up? Hey, man. All right, you're long 40. Nice, Rad. Nice. Shout out to Young K. What up, Young K? Welcome to the room. How's it going? Last but not least, shout out to Zero Suit. Zero, nice to have you on a live session. Be able to step away from work. Hey, yeah, seems like you're doing well. Thanks for all your help. Shout out to JJ for his unparalleled guidance. Shout out to Steve. Shout out to everybody listening back who's not with us. Appreciate everybody in the room. Seems like everyone's doing well today. Hey, what's up, Wiz? Yeah, nice, Rad. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, seems like everyone's been trading fairly well. It's nice to see. It's good to see, Jay. You love to see it.
Oh yeah,
You love to
especially
see
on
it.
a day like this. You know, it's
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah. Thank the gods of order flow for inventing BlackRock, because all these large money management firms
hmm
are
Yeah,
giving us really nice price stability.
yeah. Don't forget about Black Trident.
Black Trident, yes. Shout out to Mr. Fink. I know you're listening. Gotta love that guy. He loses $100 million, gets fired, then goes and starts the world's largest wealth management firm. Unbelievable. Back to developing halfback. So my short was based on the fact that we re-entered this zone,
Mhm.
but we failed to get any lower than where's the low on this C period? 37 quarter. Close, eh? That area of excess? Oh, 37 quarter. What do you know? See how profile makes you look smart, man. It's amazing how these structures hold up. And that's why I really like having references to the left that we can look at and lean on.
Oh, definitely. Oh, I mean, it's been real helpful today, for sure.
I'm sure candle traders have something similar, but it's kind of easy to see here. You know, it's like, oh, it's fat and then it's thin. Oh boy, let's just mark off that level, right? Just wish I had a way to make this bigger and have this all included.
hmm Yeah, good luck, Brad. Yeah, I'm toning down on my my number of trades. I think I was getting way too cavalier lately.
That's the problem with electronic trading, man. Just click, click, click. You know, it's so easy, right? It
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't take any. They took all of the, your broker. Are you sure you really want to do that? That's gone now. little bit of volume here. Mark, you're bad. Mark works for the brokerage firm.
Use that mouse.
Yeah, just trade. Just keep trading. Yeah, just don't worry about it. Just keep trading.
What do you need? I'm a fucking rad, man.
You can tell these guys
Fun as fucker.
generate those commissions.
I am. I'm up today. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. I don't want to. I've been doing well in the morning, and then I give it back, and I go on fucking tilt. I'm not.
Beetlejuice, when you bought your first stock, you had to mail in a form to Charles Schwab asking to buy 20 shares of GE. Wow.
you,
You guys, oh man, you guys are bad.
woo.
Oh.
The
Oh.
room really knows how to get me riled up,
Mhm.
man.
Oh yeah.
Guys.
Well, let's say you know your triggers.
Jesus. Yeah, God. I'm about to. Oh.
Ugh, that's funny.
Oh, you guys want me to trade, huh? That's what
Oh,
you
no.
want me to do? Yeah? You just want...
Ugh.
God, man. Fucking Annie Duke. Don't get me started with Annie Duke. Oh my God.
I don't know.
Ridiculous.
Just that name is tilting. You know that. What would the guy Kramer say? That sounds rather made up. You know, like her name. That's a fake name. Of course, she's the sister of Randolph and Mortimer Duke. And here we are, crawling over halfback. Here's the big test, folks. 46 coming. Do we have enough oomph to get over it and stay over it? One tick over. A little bit of responsive selling. Most of the volume's up here. 3 periods down at 32.45, which is just at the top of this balance zone. Notice the ticks. The advanced decline line is pegged. It's just stuck at negative 2200. Breath back and forth between 9 and 7 negative. Right? So it is a negative day. And what's basically going on is we are now playing changes in inventory. The way this market's trading is even if the other time frame is in the market, they are selling, if they are selling anything at all, they're selling it very judiciously, right? I am not getting, like, this is not a B profile where you see long liquidation. So still early, good excess on the top and the bottom. And we just seem to be digesting this gap. Like, you know how when we gap up, sometimes the market just kind of hangs there for a while? That's what we're kind of doing right now. And we are flushing out of 46. So that move all the way down, that was some inventory and maybe a little size selling that took us all the way down to 37 quarter, but it wasn't enough to break that excess this time. It's very interesting to note. It's telling us a lot about what's going on under the hood of the market, right? The internals tell a story, but the structure really tells you what's going on, right? Look how we rejected out of 46. Yeah, sure, we flushed it, went down there and cleaned it all out. And everybody who was selling from 50, everyone who was long from 54 sold it to us down at 42. Because let me tell you, I have talked to people out there who are retail traders and they use big stops. Like for me, that's like leaving all the lights on in the house when you're not home, right? In the day, kind of wasteful, right? Like, some people are using 8-handle stops and things like that. And so they will be getting stopped out and selling into this. It does happen. And then there are, of course, those who say they don't need to use stops and get caught like a deer in the headlights when the price crashes through their levels. I'm not saying anything bad. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, right? I'm a market maker. I don't need to use stops. Whoa, what the hell happened? No stops in paper trading. 36K cup of coffee? How much coffee have you guys had, really? LC, unfortunately, has been taken away from us because they changed his job title so he can't trade. So, but he'll be back. I'm sure he would have pulled an all-nighter if he had this. Back into that, a second set of single prints up to 32.50. Well, yeah, I'm just on 2 cups now. 2 cups a day, that's it.
For the whole day?
Yeah,
Or just
that's
in the
it.
morning?
No, that's it. I can't do any more than that.
Mm.
Brad, you were short Mustang software, no stop, left desk, came back in from coffee, down 36 grand. Oh my God. Yeah, you'll remember that one, eh? Mark was long 47 quarter. He's out. On the retest of 46, I want to see if we get any kind of selling. Boy. Apple's at 300. Microsoft is 172.69. Nice, Debo. Way to work it. Really nice entry. I just want to see if we can stay out of that green zone at 46. So far, value's above it, but it's only been 3 periods. Nice trading, guys. Nice trading. This is really nice order flow for a market that's down 90 S&P points. I'm gonna balance here for a little bit. I'm just going to expand this out, if you guys don't mind. Let's take a look and see what's going on in a sort of a larger time frame context. If you took all of these trading days and stuck them together, you'd see that, remember when we dipped down here, they defended this position? Some of you might have not been in the room, but in this dip in January, remember, if you were in the room, I stuck these 3 profiles together, and it was very interesting to see that the low of the value was exactly kind of where the dip went into. And then we went into this area and we couldn't break 32.12, so we went back straight up. So this position seems to be, now it's only one day and one day doesn't make a market, but this area right here, where we really only have so much trading history in the last, God, six months maybe, right? Where we have a balance area. This is an important balance area. And rejecting out of it is meaningful because people look at high volume nodes, right? And they say it's a high volume node. What does that kind of mean? It kind of means that there's a position here, right? I've always said that I felt like this area, just the way it traded up, down to the top to the bottom, how technical it was. I always said this was the other time frame building a position, right? This seemed like it. Here there was really no position building. There's 3 days, right? But this there was some value and there was some time spent, right? We've corrected all of this bad structure, but we've left bad structure now because we've got a gap on the way down, right? And the last time we came down and corrected bad structure, we left more bad structure when we gapped up. So that's all sort of been corrected in a day. We still have a massive gap here from the 27s all the way to 33.12. So just keep this in mind. It's very, very interesting. This, I would say, when this market breaks this area, look at where the value is. It's just right near the lows of today, right? 4 or 5 handles off, right? The market changed when it doesn't correct bad structure, Shaw. And what I'm thinking of, when is this market going to fall apart, is when we chew through this. Because so far, if you think of this like a position, right? If you pretend all of this, like, just say that you were running a deal, right? Look at things from a different perspective sometimes. The perspective of the manipulator. Look what their value area is on this thing. Right from here, 32.47 to there, 26. Our low today was 29.5. The other time frame doesn't really care about 3 handles. That's not going to make or break them. So if you look at this whole chunk of time and volume as a position, this position has been defended once and twice, and now this is the 3rd time this position is being defended, right? This is very, very telling. This isn't the first time we've been down here. We were down here, right at the end of January. We came down and flushed, and 29 is half back of this area. And our low today was 29.5, 2 ticks off of that. This is telling us a lot, right? When this changes, right, prices all the way up here at 49. We're 20 handles above where this position was built, right? This is the problem, DLA. I don't think they're going to close out this position for 5 or 10 years. That's the scary thing. So we got to look at this area, right? Now we know 32.29 to 32.46, right? That's, that's that zone that we have to keep as this market goes forward, as this week goes forward, as we come down and test these levels, right? Once we catch a seller, we have to look at this and be aware that this position, this area has been defended quite a bit. And if we break through this to the downside, there is very little. And I think that's one of the reasons why they're holding this. Because if this 32.29 breaks, we really could be, we would slice right down. We'd be down at 31.44 in a heartbeat, just like we were in the overnight, right? There's no other time frame to step in here and buy all of this. So this is just them bullying the price down as low as they could go, right? And now we're right back to 46. So what they're doing is they're adding to this position. Every time the market comes down into this area, they step in and buy. That explains why it rejects out every time, right? Remember I said there's a bid at 46? Yeah, there's the mother of all bids. It's right here. That's the bid. So the bid is from here to here, right? So what that means for us is if the seller is heavy, they're not going to stand in there and buy it here. They'll pull the seller down and buy it down here. That's what we've been seeing, right? Now, after about an hour and a half of this market and all the hoo-ha has died down, you could kind of see This is why I wait to trade, right? You guys have had some great trades, don't get me wrong. But for me, and also in an education way, I have to keep you guys out of trouble, right? So I have to know what's going on. And for me to know what's going on, my brain takes time to process information and put stuff together. And that position from the end of the year is still being protected. And the reason it's being protected is because there is thin air underneath. There is nothing until 31.44 in some sort of trading range. There is no trading range here, except once we get down here, and then we're looking at 3100 to 31.44. So if this breaks, there's no support. There are gaps because, and then we have these crazy days like this where where the S&P will work 30, 50 points in a day, and so that's what we're looking at right now. You guys have any questions about that, let me know, because it's very important that you understand this kind of a concept in this, in what we're doing, because it's very, very helpful. So now that we've got a range established for the day, I'm going to sort of maximize this out, and we can see where we're trading between these levels when we get there. So here's that 42 half. You see, very interesting things to note. The C and D high are very mechanical. That's not other time frame selling. Market's still trading quite technically.
Yeah, it's nice, huh?
It is. It really is. Not expected, but it's a nice surprise.
Yeah, definitely.
They've really, really developed these US stock markets to the point where they can absorb a lot of shock. That's very, very commendable. Yes, Phil. I am surprised we haven't gone down further. I've been surprised all morning. But as I just explained, they're protecting that position. See you, Debo.
Hey, nice work, Debo.
Nice work, man. Way to shut her down.
I think I'm with you there.
Go enjoy the day. No, trade more. Yeah,
Yeah.
Rad works for Charles Schwab. Oh no, they don't have commissions anymore, but they do have all sorts of fees. No, trade more. Yeah, well, every trading room's got a bad influence. 42. So we're just sort of tickling that 42 quarter. There's a little clump of volume right there. 13,000, 12,000, 14,000. Let's see if the point of control moves down here. So what this is a CNBC saying this is a 4.5% correction below the record high. And we're still above 3,200. Not bad. Not too bad at all. Back over 42 and a quarter. The breath is starting to sag lower. Let's see if we get some West Coast selling here. Oh, thanks, Rad. Euro close in 20 minutes. So they'll probably dump their inventory, which will cause a little bit of selling. The 42 area is not giving up the ghost. Got support there. So these are days when you're running money or you're trading a large account and you're buying positions. This is where Dalton gets that saying, let the trade come to you. We say, let the stock come to you. So if we're trying to buy a large position, we would rather buy it at 32.40 than 45. So what we do is we creep the market up, and then when there's a seller, you step in front of the seller and you force them into your bids like they're doing now. Right now, the breath is starting to turn. You notice that negative 12 to 1? It's interesting. It's very odd. Don't just blindly short off internals. This is like if you looked at these internals, you would think the market would be down a lot more than it is. But surprisingly, this market has some very, very responsive buying at very, very technical levels today. So, markets change, right? We get used to trading a certain way and then something will change. So we have to adapt to that. And more and more and more with these markets the way they are, they're getting more and more sort of, they're not black and white. It's not like if A does this, then B that. You have to be really, really open to context and look at the day, right? And then try and figure out how you're going to trade around that. Like these guys have been doing really well in the room, or you guys, I should say, Ray and Debo and Rad. And I mean, they're taking nice responsive trades. And now they know, I don't really know what's going on. I've made some money. I'll shut it down for a little bit, right? We'll see what happens here. Right? So if we still have that theory that they're protecting that position, this, what we're talking about here, this big chunk. Where is it here? There it is. Right, so we're looking at 29 on the bottom. And here's that point of control. 37 and a quarter. It's fascinating. Look, the point of control for this huge amount of time and volume is here, 37 and a quarter. Look at exactly where the excess of this day ends, 30 and a quarter. Look at where our E period ended up, 30 and a quarter. 37 and a quarter. Sorry, not 30 and a quarter. Good grief. But I mean, do you want to how amazingly precise is that? And this is not me. This is the order flow. This is why I don't look at things like depths of market to trade and things like that, because I can see where the order flow put the bids before. right? So if they don't have the bids in the same place, that means that this position is meaningless. But one, two, three times, three, four times, it had meaning on this drop. We came into it, couldn't get into it, flushed it so they could buy as much as they could down cheap. Couldn't get down to my level of 12, straight back up, right? So you know when in balance zones, if you can't break the bottom, your target's going to be the top, right? Or at least halfway, right? So until this becomes meaningless, we'll keep a close eye on it. So that 37 and a quarter is quite meaningful. Right? We'll write that level down now, and that's going to be a very important level going forward. It's really cool when you start zoning into profile, how much information you can pull. I mean, literally some days, we'll have a 60 point drop and I'll be able to call the bottom of the market by a tick. Now that's not an impressive thing for me, it's just that the profile is that insanely precise because it's the order flow that transacted. It's not a spoofing order or anything. That's the actual transactions that have occurred in a market. And those are the only things that matter, right? Where have they transacted before? Where have they put a position together? And where are they going to defend that position? Right? Fund managers, money managers, they buy at certain levels based on what their economists and what their analysts tell them. Right? If there is a fundamental change to the world economy, they will alter their positions. They will either trim positions or they'll add to other positions when things are on sale. So you got to think like that. It'll really, really help you get from getting into trouble, right? Today, if you go and ask how many people got caught short here at the open when we couldn't break the overnight low by more than 3 ticks. I mean, good grief. If that's not a sign, it's quite amazing how much inventory will influence the market. This is really, really good selling. It's orderly and it's clean, and the market's in really desperate need of it. It's good. So we're just under that 42 and a quarter. So 42 and a quarter to 37 and a quarter is that zone. What do? We stay above it. And you can see that someone's actually buying here, right? There's size, right? There's a position here. It's very interesting to note. Okay, Microsoft has slipped under 300. Apple has slipped under 300. Microsoft is printing 172.35. Really having trouble breaking 42 and a quarter. And we should expect some responsive selling once we get to 46. 1 tick, 2 ticks. See how it responds? So we look for the response to be less and less aggressive. There, like that. So the people who bought at 42 are looking pretty smart, right? If you look at volume, right? If you had picked up 1,000 contracts between 42 and 42 and three quarters, and you're fanning them out now above 46, right? That's good money, right? So guys like our buddy RX, that's what he does, right? When he sees that volume at 42, he'll be like, oh, okay, they're supporting that. I'll go buy 500 or 1,000 contracts. So he'll buy 300 contracts at 42, maybe 300 at 42 quarter, right? And he'll just build his position. He'll sit and build it, right? And that's some fairly serious size. So he'll pick up 800 1,000 contracts. Now it's going to crack 46. As soon as it gets to half back, he'll start peeling it off, right? He's just peeling and peeling and peeling until probably by now he's out. That's how you. That's how prop traders trade size positions. You guys have any questions about what's going on right now? So that the high at C and D. Remember how I said it was mechanical? And also, had we broken that, we would have stopped one time framing down. So that is not size sellers selling there. So if a lot of buying comes in, that will break. Just so you know. How you doing, Ray?
Good, good. I think I'm done
Yeah.
trading for the day, I think.
Yeah, we're staying above 46. So it's very interesting to see how size works, right?
Hmm.
Because there's size dynamic traders that move the market, right? And they will seize the opportunity. Here comes that CD high. Let's see what they do. Volume point of control is at 49 now. Here we go. There'll be some shorts will have their stops at that CDI. Believe there will be. The market breadth is is puzzling this morning. You would expect a lot more selling. Apple's back over 300.
Hmm. Yeah, the Eternals are tough, man.
Internals are
I
tough. You
yeah,
can't trade off of them. They're
no,
just like gauges in a car. And
yeah.
Peter used my line. They're like the oil pressure gauge and things like that. I'm sure he said it before, but I always say it. It's like an oil pressure gauge. Tick is like your RPM. My gauge says trade rate.
No, I'm about to, Rad. You're tilting me, man. Go ahead.
Little note, do you know, Rad? He's got the login to your account. So when he starts revenge trading, look out. So once you get used to this kind of thing, how do you trade these markets when they're like this? And if it's going to be like this and quite orderly, what you do is we wait and see them build a position where we get long, right? Where you can see the size players getting long. So if you got long at 42, your stop, you might have to use a longer stop on a day like this, but your stop would be at least 6 ticks underneath 42. And you'd watch them build up that position in here, and you'd have to sit and wait and wait and wait and then sell it over 46. Just like what they're doing, they're letting it come to them, and it bounces and it bounces and it bounces, and you buy and buy and buy and buy and pop, right? So what's going on here now is just the interplay of inventory between size traders and us, the retail, right? In the old days, they would call those floor locals, but now we have prop people who do the same job. Omar says ADHD is flatlined all morning. C period, only period with more buyers than sellers. Um, you'd figure they'd dump starting D period, and they did. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So far this morning, um, okay, cool. That's what he said. ADD's not responding to the intraday rallies. Yeah. The euro's closing in 5, and they're really not banging down this market, are they, Rad? Hmm. Mm-hmm. What are these coconuts up to now? Where's the Twix VIX thing? Up 544. Hmm. All right. Yeah, those that Fang crowd. They just every time it drops, they just step in and buy more. Yes, Swiss with this, they do own a big Apple position. You know, Livermore would say, look at the leaders. And Apple's down $12, $13 today, and Microsoft's down what, five, $6 and change. But the impact is it's not crazy yet. Back under 46, back and forth. C is pretty much inside to, I'm sorry, D is pretty much inside to C, and just stuck at 46. Wow, this is really, really slow for a day like this. This is just, we should be bouncing around all over the place, but it's so methodical. Yeah, Globex always beats the RTH range, definitely on these big sell-offs. Well, and that's because there's no bouncer in the nightclub during Globex, right? So they're throwing tables, they're bullying price all over the place, right? You walk in the morning, the place is a mess. Yeah. I do remember when the markets would gap down and trade lower. It did used to happen. People would actually panic and sell so they would have cash. Now, because everyone has so much cash, they don't need to sell that much. Okay, as we start to auction down, first stop is that 42 quarter again, the D low. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they might get rid of all that stuff. Did they repeal the Glass-Steagall Act? I can't remember. Or they're trying to. Separates investment banking from. Oh, they did it. Trading. Oh, I'm sorry, commercial banking from trading. Stuck at half back. Mm-hmm. This is very interesting now. How slow it's gotten. And in the range in the last 5-10 minutes isn't really that large. I don't really see any conviction from the sellers. The breadth is negative, the internals are negative, the market's down, but there's a lot of responsive buying. Okay, E period opens up. Our point of control is still just under that 46. Let's see if we can drive that up. So E period hit 46 to the tick. A little responsive selling by a few ticks. Very responsive. 46 is nice and responsive. That short should work down to 42 and a quarter. You guys are scalping. You can pretty much safely scalp these levels now. So I'll look for a responsive buy at 42 quarter. Just use stops. There's that position again. So if you're short 46, you should be taking some back. There's that responsive buy at 42 and a quarter. It's good for a few ticks anyway, right? And you can sit and practice that when on your sim, right? So you get used to that and then go to the micro contract. And the micro contract is like training wheels, because if you have a really bad day, you lose 40 or $50, and that's a really bad day. And you can survive that, right? You can come back from a $50, $100 loss, right? It really keeps you from getting hurt. Commissions are only 78 cents round trip. It's a great way to learn and have the feeling of a position on you without having the whole weight of the world on your shoulders. Dalton always says there's no minor league for trading. Well, they just opened one up. Thanks, Blair. Mahalo. Aloha, brother.
All right, Blair.
There's that halfback again.
Nah, he used to live there, right? I don't think he's there anymore.
He's like he grew up there, and now he's
I
on.
think he's in
He's
New
on.
Mexico.
He's in the mainland now somewhere. 46. Oof, boy. So, okay, this.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. What's going on here? Okay, so 46 was short with a 3-tick stop. So is this going to bang around between 46 and 42? Oh, you're long the Russell. How's the Russell treating you today? Where's RTY down 50 points? Okay, let's see 42 and a quarter. If we can challenge that again, we're getting down to it. Let's see if we get the same response as we did last time. If you took that long all the way up to 46, be careful this time. It might chew through it. Let's see if we get the same response. Responsive buying. Ha. Interesting. Okay. Shaw, you got 20 and 10. Okay, for your hedges. Okay, now we're going to break through 42. If we break 42, we're going to check out that 37 quarter. That's where all the goodies are. This will tell us a lot about the order flow here. And what we're doing now is we're trying to size the seller. We're trying to find out how much size that seller in each period has. If that seller cannot break the D low, it is a technical seller, and it is not a size seller. So you don't want to be shorting under 41. Yeah. Okay, very important. We didn't take the D low. One tick. Right? There's size here. You can see the volume. And back up into it. Didn't even get down to 37 and a quarter. F period. Watch to see where the low of F period is. It's not going to be a perfectly easy symmetrical day to trade today because you're going to have some strange order flow. The fact that we have double-digit negative breadth and barely any selling down here is interesting. Make a note of that. Right? And despite all this markets in turmoil thing, the trading is very orderly. Right? Make a note of that. because that's an anomaly. You're looking for 66 on ES? You know, if this keeps happening, I could see it. You know, they've got to sell more stock here to push this down. Coming back to 46 again. Let's see what kind of reaction we get. You're going to get some responsive selling. There it is. One tick, two ticks. Could be DLA. DLA brings up a very good point that somebody could be getting out of a position by defending the 40s and selling the 50s. Definitely. That's a very good thing to do. And somebody else is picking up that position in the 40s, right? Oh, you know what? I got to lose a million. I got to lose a million Apple. You want some? Okay, yeah. Well, take it down here and we'll cross it. That's how they talk, right?
Mm.
That's what we do.
I mean, it's like skipping like a couple of ticks at a time here.
Yeah.
That was weird.
See, I was expecting more of that, but with bigger ranges off the open. But it was just ridiculously calm. I mean, these guys have built a serious market here. Like you gap a market down 800 points in any other country, they'll be rioting in the streets. It's a testament to the way they've built this U.S. market. My goodness. What are you saying, Shaw? Seeing all the call sweeps in Microsoft and Netflix? Oh, okay. And once again, 42 and a quarter. Let's see what we do. If there's a size seller, they'll pull the bids and buy it cheaper. They're not going to stand in there and pay retail. So that D low, let's see if we can crack that. There we go. There we go. Nice, nice. Into that 37 and a quarter. And where did we stop? 37 and a quarter to the tick. So let's see what happens now. Let's let it sell off. And this is going to tell us what kind of seller we have, how big the size is. Oh, that would be nice. Some more lows? Bring it on. This is going to get taken out because they're going to drop the bids. And now we'll see if 29 holds. They've got a tick. There we go. Nice. This is what I was expecting. This kind of selling, it took a little while. Took a little while. We need a little follow through now. Come on, guys. No, 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 no. Wait, wait, wait. Get back here. Where are you going? Get back here. Finish the job. So what's this level here is 33, yeah. Just above the open. You know, Rad and I were talking about the market rolling over. It's kind of done it in slow motion today. Usually, this move that happens usually happens a little earlier, and it's a bit more violent. Um, but this market is remarkably resilient and has a lot of size players in it. So let them sell. Yeah, it's the gentle rocking motion that lulls you to sleep, and then boom, you got an alligator in your canoe. We got to get acceptance under 36 and a quarter. I mean, 37 and a quarter. Sorry, sorry. There it is. Uh, this is not a lot of selling. There we go. Bang it down. So if you were to trade levels and you'd want to take a short at 37 and a quarter or just underneath it, where are we, 36 and a half? Let's see how we get. When we come up to 37 and a quarter, we jumped above it. So if I took a short at 37 and a quarter, I'd basically put my stop at 38 and three quarters. And I'd be looking for 33 as a target. I'll go 33 half and cover. Oh, where's my... So I'm trying to screenshot this for you guys. This is just a micro thing, right? So there's your short. I didn't get the best fill, right? There's my stop. It's a little high, right? And I'll stick my buy in there. Yeah, I'm going to move my stop underneath, not break even, but I'm moving my stop to 36 and a quarter because this market is violent. And once we come down here, there, I'm stopped out. So there we go. Not stopped out, but hit my target. So I was just short just from under here and took this as a cover, 33 and a half. 29 is going to be a big a big deal. Let's see if we can hold the 33s at first. I mean, we do have 11 to 1 breath. It should give up the ghost a bit. Apple's printing 298, so we're firmly under 300. Microsoft is 171. That's good. This is really nice, good liquidation coming off these markets, letting a lot of nice steam out of the pot. I do not try and catch a bottom here. Just let it. Let them argue it out right here. Okay, so still get some pretty technical buying, right? Right, we hit the open. There was a responsive buy right off of it. Now, would that level hold for more than 3 or 4 ticks? I'm not sure. Just 3% or greater. Okay. I actually don't mind being on the mic all day. You guys are going to get tired of listening to me, though. That's the only thing.
No, what's up, Ben? Man, you've been quiet lately, man.
Ben's been trading up a storm.
JJ is a great sportscaster of our time. Yes.
Uh, yeah, too bad they don't have sport. They don't have broadcasters for price action.
Yeah, I just feel like you haven't been just saying too much. Oh, all right.
A lot of people, their kids are out of school, things like that. I don't know. I don't.
Whose kids are out of school? What are you talking about?
I
This
don't
ain't
know
a...
the Canadians.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, do you guys what, there's some break or something?
yeah, I guess so.
Oh.
Yeah, they have some sort of a break.
Your daughter's off this week? Matt, where are you, Matt? You're in Canada? New Hampshire. Oh,
Winter break.
winter
Okay.
break.
Oh, Serby, you're in Ontario. Hey, how's it going, eh? I'm in Saskatchewan. So, are you in the city or in one of those crazy suburbs? Burbs, Oakville, Brampton. Oh, Whitby. Cool. East Side. Mardi Gras. Oh, that sounds like fun.
What?
Process.
Yeah, yeah. Process. Process.
Process.
Yeah, process.
That's funny. I did notice that we do say A a lot. A lot of people. Well, 33 seems to be a bit sticky. It's only a matter of time before they flush this out. I really hope they don't do something stupid like leave a poor low or some nonsense like that. Friday they left a poor low, which was Just disturbing. Omar, what are you seeing out there? Are your clients calling and panicking? Are they or are they loading up? No, see, no one panics anymore. So you're not. Yeah, that's right. That's right. All privates. Yeah. Well, you're the closest thing to a retail broker we've seen since a woolly mammoth. So I do think it's only a matter of time before we break through 29. Now, if we fail to break through 29, that's really saying something as we're coming up to the end of the day or my time with you guys. Let's just take a look at what we should expect, okay, guys? Here's the structure of that we have to work with. And we've got this 29, and then we have the bottom of this day too. So double check. This is my ultimate target. Is that 32.12 for today? If we break 29 and get acceptance, we should come down and trade at 32.12. Now, if 32.12 breaks, please do not try and catch a bottom in here because there are very, very small bits of trading range. As you can see, there's really not much. And actually, if we break 19, things could get very ugly very fast. I'm just going to draw a line here and put this in for you guys. So 29 is our first target. This area right here. And then this is the, I wish I had one of those things for skull and crossbones. If we break this, there really is not much to this gap, right? It's just one of those things. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but just be prepared. If you see the market breaking 29, we're at 32, 33 right now. Just be prepared. As the Boy Scouts say. There's a lot of them, Ben. There's a gap here from the 12s up to up to here. Sorry, right. This one never actually filled. I don't think there's just a tiny little bit. There's another gap here. I think that's gap number 6. There's another gap here. So we really don't have any structure until we come down to 31.52. There's very, very little. We have 3 days here. So I'll draw a line. Now, don't use these lines to buy off of. Just watch price. Because if we start coming apart, look at this. There's nothing here. So just remember, once today is over and tomorrow sort of sets up and the Globex of tonight and everything, we're going to establish a really nice trading range. We'll be able to have all sorts of nice trades, right? So if things get really hairy, and if here's your sort of warning sign. I just, I don't want to sound like doom and gloom, but I'd rather you guys, be in the room tomorrow than, blowing up your accounts. If we break 29, that's your first downside. And if this, and then if we get down here, just, you know, as Art Cashin says, below 3212, there be dragons, right? So just leave that alone and let the knife fall if we get down there.
That was quick, Mark. Nice trade.
No problem, Ben. Nice trademark. Done for the day. All right, folks. I'll be here. Any questions? Anything weird happened, give me a shout. And I do a recap at Globex. So we will, I'll give you some other levels here too, just in case. If you want to trade in between these things, here's basically what the day is shaping up at. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you at the close. I'll do a recap. And stay out of trouble. Make sure you use stops. Thank you so much for being in the room. Have a great day. Thanks, Ray.
Hey, thanks. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. We'll see everyone at the close.